big news.
I have a little news flash.
Let's check the headlines.
Nah, it's real news for once.
The biggest stories of the local, regional, and national news.
This is huge news.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Swings it out to Sadiq Bey. Defended in the corner.
To Abdul-Rahman at midcourt. Extra pass.
And it goes for the win! The three-pointer by Jordan Poole!
Here's the give.
Walker! Kenneth Walker! Touchdown! Smarty!
Goff's got it. Back, looks, throws, ends up.
Yes! Caught! Touchdown to Detroit Lions! They did it! Amon-Ra St. Brown in the receiving end!
Sends one to deep left center field. Back it goes, and that ball's out of here! A grand slam from Miguel Cabrera. He's got 2 goals. Larkin in on goal. Scores! His first career hat trick in his 7th season for Dylan Larkin.
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Good Victory Monday morning to you, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio and worldwide on the iHeartRadio app. We say good morning to you. We welcome you. We thank you. We appreciate you. And, of course, we encourage you. Join the program at any time. You can text the keyword Sports Radio and send that to 21,000 Sports Radio to 21000. Our Meyer Supercenter guest line, 866-838-4843. That's 866-838-4843. 866-838-HUGE. That is the number. You can find us on Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros. And, of course, good morning to our television audience as well. On BCSN and streaming live on our YouTube page at Michigan Sports Network at it.com. For that to find our website. XBMornings at gmail.com is our fan feedback email inbox. And you can find us all individually on Twitter. Ben Glaze is at the Ben Glaze. Ryan Elke is at RyanL_Key. And I'm Anthony Bellino at AC Bellino. Gentlemen, good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
How was your weekend? What's going on over there? What's happening? What did you do? How's life?
Spent time with the fiance's family, and then, of course, I'm happy it's Victory Monday.
Victory Monday.
Yeah, and a special Victory Monday because everybody else in the division went down.
Always good to get a little help across the board. That
Exactly.
much is for certain. That
Yes.
much is for certain. And, man, I mean, if you watched a little Sunday Night Football, I mean, our guy Moneyline Matt Kowalis, I mean, he tried to tell you. He used his favorite term, too. He said, oh, yeah, these Cowboys feel all fat and sassy. Well, hopefully you listened to him because that was really, really something.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm watching that game. I mean, wow, what a great call on his part. That much is for certain. what an awesome weekend it was. Obviously, we are going to talk a ton of Lions, but just so you know, there are going to be little snippets of the program in today's show in which we discuss the other important things that took place, like Michigan State's big top 10 win over Baylor at Little Caesars Arena, Michigan winning the MAC against Eastern Michigan. We'll discuss the Red Wings. We'll discuss the Pistons. They'll be brief. They'll be small, but I don't want to hear any craziness, as the rest of the show is dedicated to the Lions. I don't want to hear any of this like, oh, I can't believe you're talking college basketball. We need to cover everything. It's a part of the gig. You can't just, can't just cover one single topic when you have a lot of teams that are doing well. So there you have it. We'll discuss it all, and we'll go from there. I don't want any egregious text message. I can't believe you're talking college basketball. Yes, there's a lot of segments in this show. A small, tiny portion of one will be dedicated to college hoops. Very fun weekend, though. Very fun weekend. Saturday night was just awesome. And there's not there's not a whole lot else that you can really. I mean, it was just special. It was special inside Ford Field, and that was a statement victory for the franchise. That's right where we were hoping that they would be in a position like this, and I don't know if everybody understands what they have accomplished as of Saturday night, but I'll break it down for you in the numbers. Because it was incredible, and I think that when I tell you what I have to tell you about this team, your jaw might hit the floor. Your jaw might hit the floor, but it is an incredibly special time for this franchise, for these players, and for the fans everywhere, because this is what they've been waiting for. This is what we've all been waiting for with our club, and it just it's taken some time to get there. But hey, we got there, and no matter what happens from here on out, and I'll discuss why and tell you why coming up a little bit later. Now, we have some transfer portal news. We've got, this is that weird time of year where we're playing regular season and we finish up, we get to our conference tournaments, or conference championship games, I should say, and then boom, all of a sudden, we don't do anything. We sit around and watch the news as far as who is going where and who's doing what, but we don't, nothing happens on the field. It's the worst time, right? We're all just kind of sitting in a holding pattern, waiting for, something to take place on the field that is of interest. Obviously, there are some bowl games, and there's some different things to be discussed, but nothing like the New Year's Six, and that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the big games. We don't have them see yet, so we haven't been able to take a look. And that's what we want. We want less news, more actual gameplay. So what's going on in the world of sports? We'll try to get you all caught up with all the happenings. We'll do so right now in the headlines.
Big news. I have a little news flash.
Let's check the headlines.
No, it's real news for once.
The biggest stories of the local, regional, and national news.
This is huge news.
All right, huge news. The Pistons' run of futility continues. They lost Saturday night 146 to 114 on the road against the Milwaukee Bucks, going down 43-20 at the end of the first quarter. What an absolute mockery. The Detroit Red Wings, they lost over the weekend as well, 1-0 to the Philadelphia Flyers. Michigan State has a breakout performance. They upset number 6 Baylor. How about that? They looked like the team that we were, had at number 4 in the AP preseason. Top 25. Tyson Walker scored 18 of his 25 in the first half as they handed Baylor their first loss. Just jumped all over them early. That was crazy. I was surprised to see this one. Juwan Howard returns after heart surgery and Michigan victory. He's been on the bench for a while now. Like, I don't know what, like, return. I don't know what you mean by return, but he's been there. He's been coaching. It's not like he's back from the dead. Like, he's been on the sidelines. Penn State is expected to hire ex-Indiana coach Tom Allen to be their next defensive coordinator. So that's kind of interesting. Somebody with a lot of Big Ten experience, that much is for certain. Toledo quarterback DeQuan Finn is going to transfer to Baylor with one season of eligibility remaining. Finn led the Toledo Rockets to the MAC championship this season, throwing for 2,600 yards, 22 touchdowns, 9 picks. Also ran for 563 yards and 7 touchdowns during their 11-2 run. And the Detroit native has been with Toledo since 2019. So Finn is joining Baylor after he saw the Bears quarterback transfer to Mississippi State. And that's where he'll go. We'll go to the Big 12. So congratulations to him, I guess. Malachi Nelson, 5-star quarterback at USC, has entered the transfer portal. What's going on there? Kyle McCord is going to transfer to Syracuse after his year as the Ohio State starter. Matt Patricia takes over the Eagles' play calling on the defensive side of the football. Look for their defense to take a huge dump. And, yeah, that's what we have for some of your headlines. We'll step aside. We'll be back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Bill Simonson here for my good friend Josh Garvey. Now, he is a managing shareholder at Br0's, soon to be Doran Mayhew at the end of the year. And with the merger, there is growth and a chance for you to fill an executive or other high-level finance-related roles, either at Br0 here in downtown Grand Rapids or over at the Doran Mayhew World Headquarters in Troy, or at any of their offices across the country and around the world. They have a national specialized talent pool with ideal candidates for long-term placement, ongoing support for post-placement success. So if you're looking for that next chapter in your professional career, talk to Josh Garvey and the team at Br0. Easiest way, you can call Br0, ask for Josh Garvey, or go to their website, BENEGARTR.com, or look for Br0, soon to be Doran Mayhew, on Facebook and on Twitter.
When you shop Meijer, there's no shipping needed. Snow days or shipping delays won't stop us. Get gifts under the tree today when you shop thousands of items ready for pickup in-store today. Plus, get a $15 coupon when you spend $150 or more this week in store. Coupon printed at checkout. Start redeeming next week. Get everything you need for the holidays in one stop at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Huge here for Van Andel Institute Purple Community. Now, they're a grassroots fundraising network powered by the volunteers who support VAI's mission to improve health now and in the future. Learn more at purplecommunity.org. Coming up later today at 3 on the Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network, I'll deliver huge opinions on everything you're talking about.
The holidays start here at Kroger with a variety of options to celebrate traditions old and new. Whether you're
This is X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports and Network. Great to have you riding along with us. Golf season might have come to a close, but it's never too late to start looking forward to the upcoming 2024 campaign and visiting Tullymore Golf Resort in Canadian Lakes, Michigan, an hour north of Grand Rapids, 30 minutes west of Mount Pleasant. Might be the best gift for that special someone who is a golfer in your life. So start looking there. And even if you don't play golf, they have the perfect spaces for your wedding, event, reception, or group outing. Visit TullymoreGolf.com, TullymoreGolf.com, or call 1-800-972-4837. That's 1-800-972-4837. Book your stay and play at Tullymore today. As we welcome you back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports and Network. Ben Glaze, Ryan Elke, Anthony Bellino, all joining you. You can join us. Text the keyword Sports Radio. Send that to 21,000 Sports Radio to 21000, or call us on the Myers Supercenter guest line 866-838-4843. That's where we find Ryan. Ryan, very happy this morning as his Michigan State Spartans smoked the Baylor Bears at LCA on Saturday afternoon. How exciting was that?
I mean, Christmas came early. That's what it felt like.
So did Michigan State, the way they were up in that game. I mean, they came out the gate swinging.
Yeah, swinging. You know, when you force a shot clock violation on the opposing team's first offensive possession, it's like you're Baylor. You're like, oh crap, what are we in for today?
It definitely doesn't make things easy for the fan base. If you are a Michigan State fan who has, I follow DK. I like DK a lot, and he's like, I checked my Twitter on Saturday, and he's like, I don't even know what to feel right now, and I kind of felt that for Spartan fans because I looked at the scoreboard and I'm like, what? I didn't even know what the score was. It was like 30-something to 10, and I'm like, what in the hell? I thought it was a typo. I'm like, there's no way, right? But hey, maybe this is the team that we expected to see, or the team that should have shown up earlier in the season. Like, this is like, it's got to feel good for a Michigan State fan to know that this team does exist, right?
Yeah, 100%. Because a lot of it was just like, okay, where was all this hype that was, coming into this season, all preseason? It's like, where was that team? Where was the team we saw a little bit at the end of last year, where you saw the defense humming? Because, like, even if you look at the stats, it's like, yeah, Tyson Walker, 25 points. Hogard, I think had like 13. But it's like Malik Hall had 4 points or 5 points with 2 shots. Jaden Akins had 5 points with 2 shots. So you look offensively, it's like, okay, like, don't know where really all the points came from because they were spreading the ball around. They were actually hitting their 3-point shots, and they just made life miserable for Baylor, who had over 20 turnovers.
Yeah, that's a really, I mean, when you're going to turn it over in Baylor, as you mentioned, 21 turnovers on the night, 6 of which by their guard. If you're getting that kind of output, actually two of their 3 guards had 6 turnovers apiece. A testament to Michigan State, defensively, and what they were able to do to force Baylor to feel uncomfortable throughout the course of that basketball game. And I tip my cap to Michigan State, and I'm not gonna lie, I did see it, and I was like, you know what? That's fun for Ryan. When I saw the score, I said that's pretty cool.
We deserve to be happy too, Anthony. All right, you don't get to hog all of it up. All right.
I mean, it's been a rough basketball season to start thus far for my team. That much. I mean, we're kind of, I wouldn't say we're in the same boat. I don't think we're nearly in the same boat. I think Michigan is definitely worse than Michigan State.
But they were playing like the same team, though. Michigan and Michigan State, it's just very similar. Like, yeah. Just one
looking real average out there.
Top 5 One had top 5 expectations. One had like, we don't know what we have because we have a lot of transfers coming in. We had a lot of people leave. So Michigan, didn't know what to expect because you didn't know half of the starting lineup going into the season.
No, we really didn't. I mean, we didn't know 60% of it, and we still are trying to figure that out
in your head
a little bit.
Yeah, and then your head coach, a month before the season, all of a sudden, like, by the way, had open heart surgery. It's like, excuse me?
And, I mean, factor all that in, and we know he's not the most stable, so it's like you have no idea what's going to happen on a night-to-night basis. Like, you really don't know. It's honestly kind of concerning. Like, you don't know which team's going to show up. You don't know what coaching staff is going to be there. You don't know who's assaulting who. Like, you really don't know. It is quite the myriad of questions to be answered. And look, as you mentioned, I want to kind of reinforce this one. Jaden Akins only had 5 points for the Spartans. That's it. Only took 6 shots. And finally, I wouldn't necessarily call him meaningful, but at least Carson Cooper, hanging with Mr. Cooper, got out there on the floor a little bit. Like, good for him. 8 points, 4 rebounds, couple of assists.
The centers did their job. Like, they rebounded. They got, they set their screens, got their alley-oops. Like combined Cooper and Sissoko need to get, 12-ish points, 12 to, 16 points, and same with rebounds.
Dozen points, a dozen rebounds between the two of them shouldn't be that hard of an ask. I feel like that. Right. I feel like that should be pretty okay. Like we can do that. We should be able to get that done. And for Michigan State, 5-5 now, handing Baylor their first loss, picking up some momentum, picking up a little bit of steam during this after the fake Big Ten season concluded. With 2 losses, Wisconsin and Nebraska. You see Baylor on the schedule, you're thinking on paper like, oh God, no way. But you get Baylor, then Oakland, Stony Brook, Indiana State is. Circle that one. Last time I checked, Indiana State was 53 or something in KenPom rankings. The only reason I know that is because that's a team that Toledo's played, and they got a guy that looks like a laboratory scientist that will go out there and give you 40.
Yeah, he plays like Jokic. He's like that center that can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, so be careful with the fighting Larry Birds there. And, you've got 3 non-conference games left leading into getting through the new year, and then the real Big Ten season will start off. But I think that's you win there against Baylor, you take care of these next 3 and handle business, in such a way that your team and your fan base can have confidence going into the Big Ten season. I think that this could be a different quote unquote second half for this team, considering the fact they've only played 10 games, and by the time they get back to regular season Big Ten play, that's only 13 games played. You only play 32 or 33, so it's not exactly the midway point, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, it feels like the midway point just because, non-conference is done. All right, the first 2.5 months of the season are done, and you really only have 2.5 months left. Because Big Ten season, it's no longer we play 2 games in 2.5 weeks. It's now you play 6.
Yeah. And it's and the interesting thing about the Big Ten schedule, once you get back into the fake or the real Big Ten play, is how many games are just crammed in one after another. It's just it's multiple games a week. It's crazy times, a lot of travel. It's a little bit of a grind. On the Maize and Blue side, they dispatched Eastern Michigan. Nothing out of the ordinary there. John Sanderson, the strength coach, not on the sideline for the second consecutive game after the incident with head coach Juwan Howard. Howard said, quote, "There's still a review happening at this moment." What exactly is the review? Based upon what I heard of what took place, which is exactly what I reported here. There was an argument that took place between Jace Howard and one of the trainers. John Sanderson stepped up and said something. Juwan didn't like what Sandman had to say, so he had to, that's where the confrontation stems from. Can't argue with it. And I think that if you're arguing about the culture of the program, and you have a breakdown like that, I think that kind of highlights exactly what Sandman was saying, but that's just me. All right, we'll step aside. We'll come back. Time to talk a little Lions football. Victory Monday next here. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
Huge here for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. You can stay up to date on the latest from Lansing 24/7 at MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. The latest news, press releases, and stories connected to every high school in the state of Michigan, available for you 24/7 from the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Log on to MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. And if you're looking for archive boys and girls high school sports, MHSAA.TV. That's MHSAA.TV. 24/7, everything you need to know about high school sports in Michigan. Log on to MHSAA.com.
Imagine this, a day filled with indulgence, bursting with excitement, and packed with extraordinary moments that build memories to last a lifetime. A day that is unmistakably yours, at the place that is undeniably spectacular. Whether you're winning big, dining lavishly, or relaxing oh so comfortably, it's your getaway reimagined at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
Huge here for Van Andel Institute Purple Community. Now, they're a grassroots fundraising network powered by the volunteers who support VAI's mission to improve health now and in the future. Learn more at purplecommunity.org.
You're listening to Michigan's statewide morning show, X's and Bros, right here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. You know, in the NBA, the game can change in an instant. No matter how the action unfolds, DraftKings Sportsbook has your back. This week, new customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Win or lose, you get an instant dub, and best of all, it's safe, secure, and reliable. With 24/7 support, you can deposit, withdraw your cash whenever, wherever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code HUGE. Promo code HUGE. New customers get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, only using the promo code HUGE. The crown is yours. Now, if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline, 800-270-7117, 21 plus, physically present, Michigan. Eligibility and deposit restrictions to apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Great to have you back with us, folks. Time now to get to the meat and the potatoes of this day, a Victory Monday. What a scene, first off, it was inside Ford Field. I mean, the place was so incredibly loud that the cameras that were trying to shoot the stands were shaking. I mean, it was, and it's been that way. It's almost becoming normal, which is great. It's such an awesome thing to be able to have, is a home field advantage that actually matters. Because for anybody who was at Ford Field during the dog days, for those of you who have been Lions fans longer than I've been alive, you've seen a lot here, folks. You have seen a lot. And you've seen empty buildings. You know, and you remember what the Silverdome was like. And I'm not going to say, because it's just, you know, you're about 30,000 people short. So I'm not going to say it's as loud as the Superdome. The concrete definitely helps because the sound just reverberates throughout the entire Ford Field. But I mean, it was such an electric atmosphere. You know, night game, we had a couple of Looney Tunes try to pop up on the set. Somebody threw a beer can at Danny during the pregame show. You know, people trying to get up on the stage. It's just like, you know, it's one of those things. It's like, okay, like, all right, this is why they put, you know, the quote unquote safe security staff. But I don't know what those people are stopping. Either way, you know, no harm, no foul. Like it just is what it is. Like, people are hyped up. They don't know how to act. And I want to put this into some context for you before we get into our drive chart, because it's Victory Monday. We're going to go through drive for drive, everything that took place. But I'm not sure that everyone is exactly aware of what happened on Saturday night. What happened on Saturday night is a rarity, folks. I don't know, you know, where you've been or where I've been. And maybe it's because we just didn't realize, because we see so many other teams, and usually at this point of the year, we're kind of out of it anyways. But I just want to let you know how special, and I was tweeting about this. This is the first double-digit winning season since 2014. 2014 was not yesterday, folks. It was not. That was damn near a decade ago. Although it feels like 2014 was just last year, that's not the case. It is just their third double-digit winning season since the turn of the 21st century. That's the century that we are in right now. So Y2K and beyond, we have had 3 double-digit winning seasons. That is all. That's it. 3 playoff appearances. All were losses in the wild card round. 2 from Jim Caldwell, 1 from Jim Schwartz. And 3 double-digit winning seasons. If you want to turn back the clock a little bit more and try to put this into perspective as to where this team has been recently, you got to go all the way back to, like, the, you know, Barry Sanders in the 90s. Okay. So from 1991 until today, we have had 6 double-digit winning seasons. That's it. 6. Do you want to know how many times this team has won 10 or more games? Since the team moved from Portsmouth to Detroit, they were the Portsmouth Spartans from 1930 until 1933. So just post-Great Depression, a lot of us have returned back from the First World War. And in 1934, The Detroit Lions went 10-3 in their first season in Detroit. Dutch Clark was the head coach. The Lions have won double-digit games a grand total of 10 times in almost 100 years of football, right? Because remember, we're 90 seasons in right now. And in 2034, it's going to be 100 seasons of Lions football. We have won 10 games, a grand total of 10 times. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you here? Pause for dramatic effect. If the Lions were to win this weekend against Minnesota, let's say they do win against Minnesota. I'll give them the win. Do you know how many times the Lions would have won 11 or more games in the history of their club? Not just double digit, but now we got to get to 11 or more. That's happened 3 times in franchise history. If you remember back to the 91 season at 12-4, that's the best year the Lions have ever had. That was it. That is the best year that the Lions have ever had. Outside of winning championships in 1952, 1953, and 1957. Obviously a much different game. They won it in 1935, so there's our 4 NFL championships, AFL-NFL merger. Haven't had much since. From a historical perspective, folks, that's where we're at. 3 double-digit winning seasons since the turn of the 21st century. Just the 10th time since 1934 that they've been able to win double-digit games in a single season. And if they win this weekend, that will be just the 3rd time in 90 years that this team has won 11 or more games. I don't know if anybody else realized that, but that is what Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, Chris Spielman, Rod Wood, Sheila Ford, like this is what they've all accomplished here with this team. It's pretty amazing when you start to look at the historical context behind what took place. Now to Saturday night, which was sensational. Lions get the ball first. Nothing happens. I mean, they got to 1st and 10, at the 46-yard line. That was it. Like, that was that. I mean, they didn't do anything really too crazy. Amon-Ra had a big gain of 21 yards. They were forced to punt. Denver takes over 1st and 10 at their 29. And this is where, going into last week's game, I wanted to see Melifonwu play. Didn't think he'd be out there in safety. He is out there playing a safety role. He is earning his stripes, earning that paycheck, has the same agent as Tommy DeVito. So that's why you saw, Tommy DeVito's agent there. He also represents Iffy or Melifonwu. I shouldn't call him Iffy. He doesn't like to be called that. But a great sack here from Melifonwu, who the ball pops loose. Isaiah Buggs picks it up. He's running right at us, fumbling, stumbling, rumbling, bumbling, right? He gets tackled from behind, runs off the field, is right next to us, runs up the stairwell right there, and gives the football to his mom. Like, what an awesome moment that was. I thought for sure 1st and 10 at the Denver 37. Literally nothing happened. Not a thing. They went from 3rd and 5 at the 22-yard line to a sack, losing 7 yards, 4th and 12 from the 39. Jack Fox punted it, bounced into the end zone, 1st and 10 from the 20, just a complete, I don't know what the hell happened there. Denver gets the football back. They're forced to punt, 3 and out. Lions get the football back. They go 6 plays, only gain 24 yards. 4th and 10 from the 49. They punt it, 1st and 10. We're winning the field position battle here. We didn't go for it, which I was kind of surprised. But I didn't, at 4th and 12 on the 39, okay, it's Denver's 39. If you punt it and it goes in the end zone, it's basically a glorified 19-yard punt. So if you want to go for it there because you can't kick it, Riley Patterson, healthy scratch. Money Badger, Michael Badgley out there kicking for the Lions. There's a little wrinkle for you. So if they would have went for it there, it really, 19 yards, what's the difference? I'm not mad about it. They forced Denver to punt, as they got it only to their 46-yard line. So they gained 30 yards. Obviously, if they gain 30 yards from the 39, it's a different story. May have given up some points. Either way, Lions defense holds fast, and they get their first score of the game. Sam Laporta, his first one of the day. Here it is.
Start 10 of 14, 101. First and 10. Gibbs was in motion. Outside it goes. Laporta gets by Josie Jewell to the pylon.
Sam Laporta, by the way, anytime that you can get the man on the call that we had, like, look, you're not getting it. I was surprised CBS actually did the broadcast. I was wondering why we saw so much CBS personnel out there. But Kevin Harlan on the call, that's what I want to see. Give me more Kevin Harlan. All right, so that's touchdown number 1. Lions go up 7-0. Defense comes back out on the field, gets a 3 and out. Now you're feeling really good. Now the crowd's kind of incensed a little bit. Now we're getting a little goofy, right? We got it first and 10 from the 39-yard line after the punt. A deep pass to Josh Reynolds for 20 yards. Then, that was at the Detroit 39. First and 10 from the Denver 41, Jahmyr Gibbs. Left end, gains 21. First and 10 from the 20. Montgomery loses 7, so you're second and 17 from the Denver 27. J-Mo picks up 18 yards. You're first and 9 at the Denver 9. You got an incomplete pass to Amon-Ra. And then second down and goal. So not first and 9 at the Denver 9. It's first and goal. Second and goal at the Denver 9. Jahmyr Gibbs wants to get into the receiving game a little bit.
Amon-Ra St. Brown was the target there. Second down, goal. That is caught by Gibbs. Touchdown. And a second touchdown pass for quarterback Jared Goff.
All right, I just need a little bit more out of Harlan there. Just need a little bit more. So now we're looking at 14-0. You're feeling good. Defense is coming back out onto the field. And although Denver ran some plays on this drive, 7 plays, only gained 17 yards. It's 4th and 10 at the Denver 32. And now you've got a situation where Denver is forced to punt again. And you have the real opportunity to make a statement here. The question is, you got 4:21 on the clock. After the punt, it's 1st and 10 from your 19-yard line. Do you have enough time? Yes. With 4:02, yes. We know 100% this team has plenty of time. Now, the 2023 rookie class, at that point in the game, had produced 15 touchdowns this season, 3rd most touchdowns by any Lions rookie class, only trailing 1983 that had 19, and 1980 that also had 19. Now, all of these numbers are a little skewed because you have the extra game, but we haven't quite gotten there yet. So it's still in franchise history right now. For me personally, 17-game season, an extra game means a whole lot. So let's see how they do. However, with both Gibbs and Montgomery running the football the way that they have, both missing some time, I think it definitely highlights how productive they have been. Lions tight end Sam Laporta also passed Kyle Pitts for the 3rd most receptions for a rookie a tight end has produced in NFL history. That was earlier in the game, as Jahmyr Gibbs became the 7th rookie to produce 1,000-plus scrimmage yards in franchise history. That was all fine and dandy. Now let's get back to the touchdown, which is where we were at. Amon-Ra St. Brown, we're head over heels over. Like, this guy is legitimate. We knew it for every pick. Like, if you're mad at over Levi Onwuzurike or Josh Paschal, who did have a sack in the game, if you're mad at Brad Holmes about any pick that he has made, I present to you Amon-Ra St. Brown, and that's worth about 2 of these guys. Like, you're never going to hit on all your picks. You're going to miss in the draft. How badly you miss and where you miss is what's important. And then you also have to have diamonds in the rough. As we talked about multiple times, you look at the Legion of Boom and where they drafted some of those guys, Richard Sherman most notably, a 5th rounder. You have to be able to strike gold in the middle to late rounds. And whether that gold is a guy who can play multiple positions for you on a very inexpensive deal and get the job done, or that guy becomes a franchise wide receiver like Amon-Ra St. Brown, at the end of the day, you have to be able to get it done in middle to late rounds. Brad Holmes has done it. I will not hear any Brad Holmes slander. Because you're not going to hit on all your picks, and you can't just focus on what you didn't get. That's a bad way to look at Christmas. All right, we get it all the way down 1st and 10 at the Denver 18-yard line with 56 seconds to play. right? We inch closer. We have 19 seconds left. Jared Goff goes to Amon-Ra St. Brown for 15 yards, and we go head over heels.
5 in the secondary for the Broncos. Here they come with 5. There's the catch, a touchdown by St. Brown. Head over heels for 6.
Flipped over into the end zone. You know that landing hurt. If that would have happened to any of us, we're not getting up for like a month. Like, that's just not going to happen. So after punting to begin this game, you punt on your first 3 possessions. The next 3 times you touch the football, you force punts, and you score touchdowns. That's sensational work there from the Detroit Lions offense. Sensational work there from the defense, keeping them in the game. They gave up some big plays, bend but don't break. I love it. Then we get into the second half. There is a touchdown. Denver was going to score at some point eventually. Like, it was bound to happen. Like, they weren't just going to, play this game without scoring a touchdown. Not the way that they had come in, right? They had come into this thing winners of, 6 out of 7. Like, they were feeling good. And if you are the Detroit Lions, the way that this defense held there in the first half, you had to be overly pleased. 3 touchdown lead, going to halftime 0-0. Let's not choke this one. Like, let's go out there and finish the job. 3rd down and goal from the Denver 3-yard line on the first possession of the second half for the Detroit Lions, up 21-7. More from Sam Laporta.
Goff. Laporta, touchdown.
So there it is. Laporta gets number 2. Goff slinging the pill all over the place. Everybody feels great. And it is 28-7. And now you feel like, okay, Denver gets a field goal there. We're getting the football back. Let's see what happens. Well, I'll tell you what happens. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. That's what happens. Another drive, another touchdown. Like, this is just outrageous. Now this one, on the ground from Jahmyr Gibbs on 1st and 10 at the Denver 12-yard line. Here's Jahmyr Gibbs said, let me touch it. It's all mine. I got this one.
Gibbs is in, 1st and 10. Laporta, a block. Gibbs turns the corner. And he is in for the touchdown.
Nationally televised game in primetime. The 2 rookies that Brad Holmes went and drafted with 4 touchdowns in the game so far. That's where we're at. And then finally, to close some things down, we would punt one more time. Denver would get a touchdown. It was 35-17 when the Lions got the ball 1st and 10 at the 44. That's too short of a field. You know what's going to happen here.
4th and 2. Goff to the end zone. Touchdown. 3rd time to Laporta.
How special is that? And you know what? It's that time of day. Let's do it to it, Lars. Let's get right into it. You know what to do. Victory Monday!
Lions fans, get a bunch of seats. Get a bunch of seats. Forwards on the field, a charging team that will not yield. And with a blue and silver wave, everybody stand into the brave. Rah, rah, rah. Go hard with the game.
We are back in hour number 2 next. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
Huge here for my friends from Coppercraft Distillery. Now they're a Michigan-based company, and they have a message for anybody 21 and up. You're going to want to get hooked up with this Honolulu Blue, a premium can cocktail. Vodka, blue raspberry lemonade. This special limited edition canned cocktail is available at local stores, pubs, and restaurants. And when you're cheering on our favorite pro football team, TDs, tailgates, and more, make sure you grab a Honolulu Blue from Coppercraft Distillery.
Hi, I'm Casey. I don't just work at Meijer, I shop there. Get a $15 coupon like I did when you spend $150 or more this week in store. Print it at checkout, start redeeming next week, and get Meijer's Spiral Sliced Ham for 89 cents per pound with M-Perks. Discount automatically applied when you enter your M-Perks ID Limit 1, plus potatoes, green beans, rolls, and more. Then save even more with M-Perks with $1 off per gallon of gas. Get the same low prices, big deals, and great quality in store and online at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Imagine this, a day filled with indulgence, bursting with excitement, and packed with extraordinary moments that build memories to last a lifetime. A day that is unmistakably yours, at the place that is undeniably spectacular. Whether you're winning big, dining lavishly, or relaxing oh so comfortably, it's your getaway reimagined at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
Merc Perks from Mercantile Bank is here. Merc Perks checking has all you need to plan your busy lifestyle. Travel services for hotels, airfare, and cruises, cashback rewards, and even savings on prescriptions, eyewear, and dental work. Merc Perks also includes all the traditional benefits you love, like online and mobile banking, and fee-free access to almost 40,000 MoneyPass ATMs. So when you're ready for perks, Merc is here. Learn more at mymercperks.com, member FDIC.
It's as easy as 1, 3... Wait, that's not how it goes. It's 1, 2, 3, like this. The Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police wants you to remember, always wear your seatbelt. Make it part of your routine. Just like that. Got it? Seatbelts save lives, and using them is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Huge here. AB's doing a heck of a job, and I'm ready to drop some huge opinions about what he's talking about later today at 3 on the Michigan Sports Network.
Good morning, everyone.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's a good morning. Wake up to a brand new day.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Welcome back here, X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports and Network. Great to have you right along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio and worldwide on the iHeartRadio app. We say good morning to you. We welcome you. We thank you. We appreciate you. And, of course, we encourage you. Join the program at any time. You can text the keyword Sports Radio. Send that to 21,000. Sports Radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 866-838-4843, 866-838-4843, 866-838 huge. We're on Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros, and, of course, good morning to our television audience as well on BCSN and streaming live on our YouTube page at Michigan Sports Network. I, for one, can't see the television broadcast because my cable boxes are fried. So we just don't have any power. They don't even turn on. That's a problem. But was able to get on the phone with support and hopefully going to get some new boxes at some point this weekend. Let's get to USDA. Scott, he is on the line right now and wants to talk who knows what. I got to you before we could even finish the description of whatever was on your mind. What's up, Scott? How are you?
Well, you know, a lot of things are on my mind this morning, obviously, but a few quick things on them. One, I started hearing it right after the game. Oh, Denver's not that good. They're just they're not a good team. Oh my goodness! Oh, big deal. They beat. Before the game, we were what, a 3.5 point favorite? Isn't that
4.5
when you're on the road or you're at home? That's almost a pick 'em, isn't it?
It was 4.5, but yeah.
Vegas? Yeah, I mean, when you're, what do they say, 3 points at home? If teams are pretty equal, it's a 2-3 points. So anyhow, before the game, it was, the Broncos are hot, 6 out of 7, yada, yada, yada. And then all of a sudden, we beat them, and they say, oh, they're just not that good. Oh, okay. That's number one.
Well, let me address that real quick. As Denver, which was one of the hottest teams coming in to Ford Field, had won 6 out of 7. And here are the teams that they beat. The Browns were in that mix, playoff contender. The Bills were in that mix, big game for them, beating the Dallas Cowboys last night. Still in the hunt. And the Kansas City Chiefs, who leading the AFC West. Obviously, things are a little bit different. And one of the best records since Week 6 in all of football. So just throwing that out there. They had beaten Green Bay, they had beaten Minnesota, and they beat the LA Chargers for their other 3 wins. Their lone loss was to the Houston Texans in that time frame. So they are definitely a team that came in with a lot on the line and a lot to play with.
Right. Then here's point number 2. For San Francisco, the best team in football, they had 3 losses in a row. Now, when they had those 3 losses, you know what it was? You know what we heard from everybody, especially when they started winning? Well, they had all those injuries now. Oh, let me see. We haven't had CJ all year. We haven't had Mosley all year. We've been working with a tactical system on our offensive line all year. David Montgomery missed 3 games. Do they give us that excuse? I mean, should we use that excuse? I don't think so. And then, but because it's San Francisco or because it's Dallas will beat the crap out of somebody, whoever it is at home. No, they got Miami on the road. Shoot, Dallas might be coming in on a 2-gamer.
That's
Miami
fine. And that's a primetime game itself in Week 17. That's an 8:50. I think we're the lone Saturday game on that Saturday night.
I honestly, a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to slap myself for it, I was thinking there's absolutely no way we can get the number 2 seed. No way. And I just figured it was Dallas or Philly, one of the two. And I'm not so sure Philly's going to beat Seattle tonight up in Seattle, especially now that the rumors are Hurts might not play.
Yeah, Hurts allegedly traveled separately from the team because he's pretty sick and doesn't want to get the rest of the team sick. I don't know how that works out. I'm rooting for Seattle. I know Seattle beat us. I don't really care. Seattle right now is 6-7. They get back to 500 at 7-7. If Philly takes this loss and drops to 10-4, we get a little help from San Francisco on the way out of here, folks. I mean, why can't we have the best record in the NFC? Why not?
And then have Matt Stafford. Or no, well, I still don't. I don't think San Fran's going to lose. I just don't. I mean, you saw their schedule is pretty slim. And,
anything can happen.
Well, it's football. We know that. That's why I say I never want to get down on my Lions again, and because it's just anything can happen on any Sunday. I mean, the Bears had Cleveland beat to crap for 3.5 quarters.
Can you believe that Hail Mary almost worked? And somebody's like, I can't believe he didn't catch that. First off, he wasn't the intended receiver. He's trying, like, the ball is up. It's batted in the end zone. It gets batted to you. Your eyes got to be the size of dinner plates at that point. Goes off his thigh, up his chest, and then he ends up, like, kicking it in the air, and then it's intercepted. I'm surprised the young man from the Browns didn't try to run it back to the house. I mean, I get it. He made the smart play. Just go. Just run. Just see what happens.
I know you've watched a lot of I'm sure you've watched a lot of practices, and they practice that play exactly like that.
Yeah, Cleveland did the right thing. Bat the ball down. It just so happens that they batted it right to somebody's thigh, and then people are like, I can't believe Bears fans can't believe he dropped that. Like, what? Like, what do you mean can't believe it? Like, come on. It's like playing jackpot in the schoolyard.
That's the play. That's the play that you're trying to do. They're trying to tip it to somebody who's not in the immediate radius of where the football lands. You know, they're trying to tip it away so somebody else has a chance to catch it. And, I mean, they couldn't have played it much better. It just wasn't that easy of a catch for that guy to make,
look, I mean,
like that.
The ball's in the air, and as the defender, if you have a chance to make the play on the ball, the play is to swing at that ball as hard as you can straight into the ground. Bat that ball down. Like, get it down on the turf, and the game is over. The Bears player, whoever it was, poor guy, he just happened to be like, oh, God, I'm standing right here. Like, whoop, there it goes. Like, off my shins. Oh, it's in the air. Interception, Cleveland. Just run. Get the touchdown.
Right. And here's the other thing. You'll hear all about the Bills today. You'll hear all about the 49ers today. But my point is, you look at the Lions, we're 4-1 against teams with 500 or better record. We're 6-3 against the others, and I would consider Seattle a 500 team. But anyway, we're 5-2 at home, 5-2 on the road. And every team lays a stinker or two, and we've had a couple. But I don't see how the Lions are any different than any of those other teams. San Francisco not might. They have more talent at more positions than we do at this moment. That's a given. But other than that, I'll play anybody. Well, I'll play them too. But I mean, I don't see the Lions. I don't see the Lions being separated from anybody else other than maybe a little bit by San Francisco.
Yeah, it's and even with San Francisco, it's like, okay, yeah, they have Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle. Okay, we have Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Mr. Reliable and Dependable in my guy Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond coming up with some big catches. Oh, and by the way, Jamison Williams getting more and more targets. Like, it's almost like they watched that video circulating around the web and it was like, hey, throw him the ball.
Hey, can you have somebody look this up during the break? Have there ever been two running backs that combined for over 2,500 all-purpose yards? I'm assuming there has, but I don't think it's happened very often. And
I will take a gander when we return after this here on X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Garvey. Now, he is a managing shareholder at Br0's, soon to be Doran Mayhew at the end of the year. And with the merger, there is growth and a chance for you to fill an executive or other high-level finance-related roles, either at Br0 here in downtown Grand Rapids or over at the Doran Mayhew World Headquarters in Troy, or at any of their offices across the country and around the world. They have a national specialized talent pool with ideal candidates for long-term placement, ongoing support for post-placement success. So if you're looking for that next chapter in your professional career, talk to Josh Garvey and the team at Br0. Easiest way, you can call Br0, ask for Josh Garvey, or go to their website, BEENEGARTR.com, or look for Br0, soon to be Doran Mayhew, on Facebook and on Twitter.
When you shop Meijer, there's no shipping needed. Snow days or shipping delays won't stop us. Get gifts under the tree today when you shop thousands of items ready for pickup in-store today. Plus, get a $15 coupon when you spend $150 or more this week in store. Coupon printed at checkout. Start redeeming next week. Get everything you need for the holidays in one stop at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
The Freddie the Pizza Man Foundation is dedicated to providing support to families and Michigan schools touched by autism. We invite you to join us in supporting these families and schools by making a donation at freddythepizzaman.com. With your donation, you can help provide essential resources that can make a real impact. Visit freddythepizzaman.com to make a donation and to learn more about the foundation's mission. That's FREDI thepizzaman.com. Together, we can make a difference.
This is X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. Nate on YouTube says, Happy Victory Monday. Our souls were filled by Spartan and Lion wins, and our stomachs filled by Danny's and Freddy's. The city's energy Saturday walking around was amazing. Nate, I need to hear more. Nate. I need to know. Did Nate stop at the grocery store? Did I miss Nate? Because Saturday I had the doubleheader. Did he go to Freddy's? Did Nate get a cheese ball? I made that cheese myself, Nate. Come on. Golf season's here. Well, golf season's come to a close. But Matt Golden's still here. He and his team at the beautiful Tullymore Golf Resort still ready to welcome you with open arms. Even if it's not for golf, maybe it's a wedding, event, reception, group outing, corporate outing, what have you. Maybe you're looking for the best stocking stuffer for the golfer in your life. Look no further than Tullymore Golf Resort, Canadian Lakes, offering 2 championship courses, Tullymore and St. Ives, and the perfect accommodations and space for you. Located about an hour north of Grand Rapids, 30 minutes west of Mount Pleasant. Everything you need right there. Visit TullymoreGolf.com, TullymoreGolf.com, or call 1-800-972-4837. That's 1-800-972-4837. Book your stay and play at Tullymore today. That's sensational. Simply sensational. And ladies, look, and we know that we got some ladies that listen to this program. If you are looking for the perfect gift for your husband, Tullymore is the place to go. I mean, you talk about, at this point, what do we really need? What do we really need? What do you need? Christmas is stressing me out. Everybody's stressing me out. With my family, we're all adults. So everybody go get something you want and then give it to somebody else. They'll wrap it and then give it back to you. That's an easy way to do it. I'm not 6 years old anymore. Santa and I are now, we're cohorts and friends. That relationship has evolved over the years between Santa Claus and I. So it's all good. It's all good. Just find something you want, give it to somebody to give to you, right? That way, hey, look, you tried it on, it's the right size. Boom, get rid of the returns. Easy peasy. 2, look for something you're actually going to use and need, right? What do you actually need as a grown-up? Right? 3, give somebody a list. Hey, look, if you could get me one thing for Christmas, here's a list of 5 things. Anything on there, don't be too ridiculous. Anything you get on there is going to be great. I had great Christmases as a kid. As an adult now, I'm happy just to not have to work that day. I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised. I can't believe we haven't tried to schedule a Big Ten basketball game on Christmas Day, right? Nate, I need to hear more about your Danny's and Freddy's experience. But that's what we want. Okay, I'm going to add in Michigan, so our souls were filled by Spartan, Wolverine, and Lions wins. Can I throw the maize and blue in there, Nate? Can I just alter that a little bit? And our stomachs filled by Danny's and Freddy's. So that just makes my little heart happy. By the way, I'm doing some research right now for Scott. I can't find teammates that have gone for 2,500. That just seems like such a random qualifier, and I don't know exactly what software or system anybody uses for this. So what I was looking for were teams that have had there's 7 times in history teams have had 2 teammates go for 1,000 yards rushing, right? 1,000 yards rushing. It's happened 7 times. 2 teammates have done it. And I'll eliminate 2 of those because 2 of them have had running quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson, obviously. Michael Vick, obviously. So only 5 times in NFL history has a team had 2 running backs. And, of course, you could say fullback and halfback, tailback, however you want to name it. 2 running backs go for 1,000 yards in the same season. That's only happened 5 times. And in case you're wondering, David Montgomery needs 145 yards over the next 3 games to get 1,000 yards on the ground. Jahmyr Gibbs needs 208 yards. It is 100% there. They've combined for 17 touchdowns between the 2 of them. Just sensational. And neither one has played the entire season. So David's done it in 11 games, averaging 4.8 yards per carry. And Jahmyr's done it in 12 games, averaging 5.7 yards per carry. Jahmyr Gibbs has also added 296 yards in the air to his ground total of 792. So welcome to the 1,000-yard scrimmage yards club there Making clubs up as we go, baby. Montgomery's added 103 in the pass game, in case you were wondering about that. So still a little bit more research to do. All right, we'll shift gears briefly. Go back to the Lions after the Red Wings this weekend suffered a tough loss to the Philadelphia Flyers, and it was Alex Lyon that got the start. He had stopped 14 of his first 15 attempts before he left in the game in the second period with an unspecified injury. Blocked the shot, stumbled out of the crease, fell backwards. He was replaced by Ville Husso. Robbie Fabry took a stick to the face, skated off, hunched over, blood out, dripping on the ice. I'll still never understand why players don't wear a cage or wear the plexiglass. It's just like, learning that the neck protector does exist, that great $1 million idea that I had that already exists, apparently, in which you could wear like a compression long sleeve turtleneck underneath. For whatever reason, I thought that was a great idea. Apparently that already exists, and people just don't want to do it. I don't understand why. It's the same thing with the face mask. I don't understand exactly why we would want anything that could potentially knock our teeth out or cut our face or whatever the case may be, gouge our eyeballs out. Why would you want to make yourself susceptible to that? Can you imagine electing to not wear a face mask in football? Oh, no, I'm too tough. The cage doesn't really make that big a difference. Your eyes don't even see the bars. You're looking right through it. You barely see them. You could go with the clear. We're all wearing the visor, eye protector anyways. You could just get the full face and not have to worry about it. Are you worried about it fogging up? They have the little ventilation, right there. They got the stuff you spray on it. I don't know why we leave ourselves open for injury. That does not make sense. Philadelphia with the win. They now have 37 points on the season, climbed to second in the Metropolitan Division. Detroit with a loss, 34 points, 1 point ahead of the Tampa Bay Lightning, trailing the Florida Panthers by 4 points, as well as the Toronto Maple Leafs, and then everybody looking up at Boston with 43 points. That is a 9-point differential between the Wings and the Bruins. Red Wings are 15-11-4, so call it what it is. They're 15-15, playing 500 puck right now. They're close. They are close, but now back-to-back losses. 2-1 versus Carolina at home. 1-0 on the road against Philadelphia. They'll return home later on this evening with a 7 o'clock puck drop against the Anaheim Ducks. This is a game where, look, Detroit has now lost 5 out of their last 6. True story. They're 4-6 in their last 10. They gotta flip the script here a little bit, and it'll be great when they can, hopefully have an entirely healthy lineup. That will be nice. And look, man, this Anaheim team coming in, this is a game you got to circle. They've got 22 points on the season. They are 11-19, have yet to go into overtime and lose. They're 11-19 on the season for 22 points. They're 1-4 in their last 5, just like we are. Their last game on the road in New Jersey, a 5-1 winner, so they're coming in with a little momentum from yesterday's victory. We get them on the second part of a back-to-back. Take advantage of the travel. Take advantage of the fact that, look, this team might be a little bit tired. Go out there, get a much-needed win against a team that you should beat in Anaheim, and one of 2 matchups against the Ducks. The second one will be on January 7th. So as of right now, status injured reserve for Larkin. Comfers on IR. Costin's on IR. Lyon and Fabry both listed as day-to-day, and that is updated. Return date for all. Estimated return date is today. We'll wait and see what happens when the injury report comes out and who's available for morning skate. We'll step aside. We will be back. We're going to be talking a lot of Lions today. So don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
Huge here for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. You can stay up to date on the latest from Lansing 24/7 at MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. The latest news, press releases, and stories connected to every high school in the state of Michigan, available for you 24/7 from the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Log on to MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. And if you're looking for archive boys and girls high school sports, MHSAA.TV. That's MHSAA.TV. 24/7, everything you need to know about high school sports in Michigan. Log on to MHSAA.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Bill Simonson here for Roast Umber Coffee. It's a farm-direct coffee sourced from Central American farmers and roasted in Grand Rapids. And their Nitro Cold Brew Coffee is a convenient and healthy option with no sugar or additives. So if you want a great coffee or energy drink to power you through your morning and your day, it's available in ground or whole bean or in cans. More information on the website and direct delivery to your door at roastumber.com.
Can't call in? Text us using the keyword sports radio and send it to 21000 or tweet us at XB Mornings. Now, back to X's and Bros with Anthony Bellino here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. I've come to the and I tweeted this out in asking Lions PR to fact check me, but there's only been 5 instances in NFL history in which 2 running backs have gone for 1,000 yards apiece. Could be some very special territory for Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. So it's out on my Twitter right now, the list of players who have done it and what teams. It's very, very rare. It has happened a couple times in the 21st century. But outside of that, man, we're in some rare air here, and neither one has played the full 14 games either, which is pretty special. What else? What do we got here? Let me tell you about DraftKings first, and I'll get to some of the messages. In the NBA, the game can change in an instant, but no matter how the action unfolds, you know DraftKings Sportsbook has your back. This week, new customers, same as last week, can score $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Win or lose, you get an instant dub, and best of all, it's safe, secure, and reliable. With 24/7 support, you can deposit, withdraw your cash whenever, wherever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code HUGE. New customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball, only on DraftKings Sportsbook, only using the promo code HUGE. The crown is yours. Now, if you or somebody knows a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline. 800-270-7117, 21 plus, physically present in Michigan. Eligibility and deposit restrictions do apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. So great to have you riding along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening. Wish I had my cable boxes fixed. Neither here nor there. First world problems. Danny's was excellent. I did purchase a cheese ball. The gracious white hair cashier gave suckers to the 3 boys and a calendar to my wife. Most impressive was the 60-foot meat case. Freddie was banging best pizza in the D. We ate al fresco. I did introduce myself to Freddie, and he was the most soft-spoken and gracious host while being slammed. That's Nate on YouTube. If you went there on Saturday, my boy Paris was in there, and he said he had never seen it, quote, as slapped out. It was slapped out inside Freddie's. I was like, wow, I don't even know what that means. Freddie's slapping people now. But he said it was crazy, and Paris was like, hey, man, we were still in and out. He was like, Freddie is the definition of him. I almost took a screenshot of the message and tweeted it, but I was like, last thing we want to do is inflate anybody's, ego over there. But, man, Nate, I am sorry that I missed you at Danny's, and I'm glad suckers for the kids. You don't get that at Kroger, do you? Huh? What cashier's giving you those? That's what I want to know. Only at Danny's. It's old school. Get the kids a little sugar high on the ride home. Gibbs was the star of that game, running over guys like a bulldozer. Huge credit to the defense, blitzing like crazy. That was fun to see. Now you can give Goff credit for taking advantage of a tired defense. Didn't the Lions feel fat and sassy after Kansas City losing to Seattle? The Lions never should have lost that game to Seattle. They never should have lost that game to Seattle. They called the plays in certain situations that cost them that game. Last weekend on Saturday, they played the field position game a little bit. Even in certain spots where it was like, okay, well, I could see why you'd want to go for it right there. Like, no, look, like that. They didn't want to do it. You punt the ball away. You play the field position game, even though it didn't necessarily work. When Fox's punt bounced into the end zone, and it was basically a net of 19 yards. It didn't work in that particular instance, but they're learning from things throughout the course of the season. Now, I wanted to focus this segment here particularly on the defense. One of which is a guy who is, basically written off, and that is Ifeatu Melifonwu. And he was all over the place, making every single play necessary. He was just simply sensational. The fact that he was able to get that blitz, get that strip sack out there, the fact that Aaron Glenn was willing to send him on that, I thought was very important as well. Because going into the game, what was I asking for? I was asking for our defense basically find an identity, set the tone, like stop being so reactionary, and go after what you want. Like that was just an all-around awesome defensive performance there from this defense. And we haven't seen that, right? We've been so reactionary every single week. We've been so just, okay, they do this, so how do we counteract that? Like, no, let's go out there and set the tone a little bit. That's all we need. We just need to go out there and set the tone. And we need to force another team to react to what we are doing. Right? Let's hold serve ourselves and get after it a little bit. And Melon Fonwu, the game that he put together, now I asked him to be in the spy for the Chicago game. They played him, but it was just at the safety position. Second most in tackles with 9 total, 6 of which were solos. Added the sack, the tackle for loss, 2 passes defense, 2 quarterback hits, a forced fumble. Like the definition of if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Fatu Melon Fonwu. And the reason that I had asked for him to be in that spy with Walker and Joseph behind him for the third-year player out of Syracuse is because of his 6'3", 210-pound frame. Like, he has the ability, the speed, and the size to play a little bit up, closer to the line, and he's shown a willingness to tackle that I think is very, very important. And, I saw a comment that said, our safeties can't cover anybody anyway, so just send them. Just send them. Like, let's be the ones who dictate the pace of the game. Let's be the ones that say, you know what, this is the way we're going to play. And in the words of the great Michael Jordan, you want to play that way? Don't play that way. But you're going to lose. Like, let's make somebody else react to what we are doing and go out there and have a day. Couple of sacks, 8 quarterback hits, 4 tackles for loss. Defensively as a whole, they were able to do the one thing that I was asking them to do, and I just greatly appreciate it. Because we can see how this defense has struggled at times when they aren't setting the tone and they are trying to react to what the other team is doing. Like, if you're going to get beat over the top, you might as well send the house and hit the quarterback. You might as well. Because at that point, like, that's what we're looking to see. That's what we need to see. Like, we need to see a team that will go out there and be a little aggressive. Now, Aiden Hutchinson and that defensive line looking pretty good. Josh Paschal with his 3 tackles, sack, and 2 tackles for loss, looked good. Also added a quarterback hit. Anzalone hit Wilson a couple times. Melanfanu hit him a couple times. Kendall Bildor, the new guy. Shout out to the new guy. Brian Branch, like a whole lot more from the secondary being able to get after the quarterback. And I'm so excited to be able to rewatch this one, to be able to pick up on some of the things that I may have missed, because yesterday's just such a full day of NFL football. There was just no way. There's too much going on, too much on the line. Had to try to watch everything like that. That wasn't going to work. But very excited today to be able to rewatch this Lions victory over the Broncos and look to see where that success really came from. Now, it helps when you put Denver in a position to where, like, look, a tale as old as time, right? No interceptions for Goff. Detroit forces the fumble and recovers it with big Isaiah Buggs fumbling, stumbling, mumbling, rumbling, bumbling down the field. I wanted him to score that so bad. That would have been such a moment. That's a big man, and he was exhausted and very sweaty coming off the field at halftime. But the Lions produced 185 yards on the ground. 5 yards a pop from David Montgomery, 17 carries, 85 yards. And 100 yards on 11 carries from Jahmyr Gibbs, including that long of 34. Regardless, 10 carries for 66 yards. You're still at 6.6 per carry if you take away the long. And I'm looking at this like, hey, look, guess what happened? Won the turnover battle, won the ground game, won the football game. It's every week. It's every week. And Jerry Jeudy had his long of 40 yards. Outside of that, he had 2 catches for 34 yards. Cortland Sutton had 5 grabs on 6 targets for 71 yards. Lil Jordan Humphrey had that touchdown, but 3 catches for 16 yards. What a name, Lil Jordan Humphrey. Like, they just, as a whole, the defense did give up some third downs, which big play. If you're going to gamble a little bit, I understand it. But a defense that looked much better, much more willing to go out there and impose their will. I thought that was I've been waiting to see that. Let's get to Freddie, who's on hold right now, wants to talk a little Lions. Freddie, did you meet Nate from YouTube?
Yeah, briefly Saturday, and
I heard you were slapped out. Is that true? Were you slapped out? Do you even know what that means?
Of course, I know what that means. I'm not an old fogey like you. I go 100%.
Okay, all right.
I mean, you know me. My place is always busy, but the last 3 weeks has been just absolutely. It's just been so insane. When Paris walked in, because obviously I knew him. Nate, I didn't know. He introduced himself toward the end, but when Paris walked in, he walked up to me. And I said, "What number are you?" He says, 85. I looked up at the thing. I think we were at like number 63 or something like that. I said, "Hey, don't worry, bud. I got you. Just stay right here." And I snuck his order in, and I told the girl, I said, "Put him on the number 70." And by matter of fact, just call him up as Paris.
That's great.
So,
I love that.
The boss can call the shots. That's what I'm the boss, man. All you listeners out there, when I call in, I'm the boss. That's who I am, man. I call my own shots. I've never worked for anybody. I do what I want to do anytime I want to do it. It's a great feeling. I love it. So
wow.
Hope you get to experience that. Hope you get to experience that one day. Anthony knows what that is.
I don't know anything. I can't, look, I had such a moment last week, Freddie, that you'll know this. There are times where you repeat yourself so many times, then you watch somebody do something the wrong way, and I didn't even have it in me to bring it up. I was so aggravated. I was like, I just can't do this.
I listen. I get it, man. I was a couple times last week. I've been so overwhelmed at work and life and my mother and I get it, man. Trust me, I get it. I put up a front when I call your show because I got so much going on. But this is my only enjoyment of the day, other than seeing my kids at nighttime. This is my only enjoyment of the day. So, anyways, first, real quick, did you chuck that beer back at that fan that threw one at Danny? Any chance that you chucked it back?
It was an empty can, and it was like he tossed it up on the desk as if I don't know what he was trying to do. I know that he was drunk. I know that much because I had my head down. I was reading, and I see it out of the corner of my eye, and I look up, and Danny she's appalled, so she's doing her thing, and I look over at the guy, and then he took off into the crowd. I couldn't even tell you what he looked like. It all happened so fast. I had no idea.
People are animals, man. Anyone's old as me remembers the Silverdome days, third level. People are in the NFL. People at NFL games are just animals, man. They just, they feel entitled because they spend all the money on parking and blah blah blah, and be animals. That's just the way it is. It's unfortunate, but that's society nowadays. So, So I sent you a lot of texts today. I know you're not going to read them all. I probably got blocked in half of them. But I do want to share with everyone Saturday night when the game started. I did text Anthony after about 3 minutes into the game. I said, enjoy golf. I know he got the text because he didn't respond to me. But he says, I go, enjoy golf, laugh out loud, and then golf through for 5 touchdowns. So I know Anthony saw that text, and then he probably started laughing at me. I saw your boy going after one of your posse going after me yesterday on Twitter.
Not back to the posse.
Yeah. But anyways, that was absolutely a fun win. That was a fun win. Okay. But can we just stop with exciting golf to 5 years, $250 million?
Who said that?
Stop and enjoy the win. Because that win, if you really watch that win,
boy, let's watch him degrade the win. Go ahead.
No, I'm not degrading a single thing. How could you degrade golf? After the New Orleans game, I was the guy that called in, so he made 2 incredible passes in the last minute of that game, and took the shots and made the passes. I was the guy that called, but people forget that. There's nothing that's great about that game. They beat up a tired team, third game on the road.
There's
and
one.
I was surprised. Hold on a second. I was surprised Dan Campbell went for a touchdown late in the game, up all against his buddy. I mean, I did see the headline today in the Free Press, but I was thinking that when the game happened, I was like, wow, against Sean Payton, you're kind of rubbing it in. That was kind of odd, but no big deal. But anyways, I like to see. I'm a guy. I like to go for things. I don't wait around. Okay. I'm trying to think of the word right now. I don't know why I'm losing my train of thought here, but I'm a go-getter. I don't wait for things to happen. I make things happen. And what I saw in that game is they made things happen, right? That Melifano, I mean, they kept blitzing that guy, and I know you've talked about him, and the guy's huge. I know you've talked about that as well. But they kept blitzing, and they kept putting on the heat, and I thought, that's what you need to do, Matt. Go take your lunch that was taken from you. Go take it and leave him a tip. I was happy to see that. And Gibbs, let me talk about Gibbs. Gibbs is not just fast, right? Everyone talks about being fast. You're down there on the sidelines. That kid lays the lumber, Anthony.
Oh, he runs hard. He runs angry.
Yeah, but he lays the lumber on these guys. He doesn't go out of bounds. He lays the lumber. I mean, it's incredible. That kid's fast and lays the lumber. I mean, this kid, you know who he reminds me of? I was thinking about it when I was watching the game. Chris Johnson from the Tennessee Titans. Remember him? He ran for 2,000 yards.
CJ2K.
Fast and absolutely. That's kind of your era. He ran fast and ran over guys. I was really happy with the win, but here's the thing. They got to keep doing that on defense, man. They know they're shorthanded on defense, Anthony. They got to keep doing that because I think that sets the foundation for the game, meaning they play more inspired on offense. And that was just a great win. I think that was the best. Honestly, I think that was the best win of the year, to be honest with you. I know Kansas City was a big win. I think it was the most fun and best win of the year. I loved it. I was happy.
Yeah, Kansas City was definitely a lot more stressful. But you think about, and we talked about this last week, Freddie. I remember that I don't know what had happened. Like we ran up against the break or whatever, and we came back. And I was trying to summarize what I thought that you were trying to say about being one of those games that is incredibly important, being one of those franchise-defining moments for this group in the Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell era, and when you really need one against a team that's coming in winning 6 out of 7. Like they're hot. Can you get the job done? Can you do it? Can you beat somebody that isn't 3-9, right? And that's exactly what they did. They beat the hell out of them. Like that was a showcase in prime time.
I was impressed. I was really impressed by Dan Campbell. He went and took his lunch and they handed their lunch to somebody else. That's what made me the most happiest is they realized on defense they brought in another kid that no one talked about, number 6, and he just. I mean, what
Ellen Fonwu, you only would have heard about him here on X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Huge here for Urban U. They are Michigan's favorite med spa locations throughout West Michigan and also on the east side of the state in Northville. And this is for any guy listening right now or lady. If you want the perfect holiday gift for somebody you care about, you need to think about the holiday specials happening at theurbanu.com. That's theurbanu.com. And for the holidays, Urban U is offering holiday tiers. Until December 30th through the end of the year, purchasing a holiday tier is the perfect way to treat yourself or that person in your life that you care about or your family. And you get your holiday gift shopping done quick at theurbanu.com. And what are holiday tiers? Holiday tiers are the best way to get rewarded big time for investing in your health, wellness, and beauty services. Simple and easy. If you want to take care of everything for the holidays, go to theurbanu.com.
Hi, I'm Casey. I don't just work at Meijer, I shop there. Get a $15 coupon like I did when you spend $150 or more this week in store. Print it at checkout, start redeeming next week. And get Meijer Spiral Sliced Ham for 89 cents per pound with M-Perks. Discount automatically applied when you enter your M-Perks ID Limit 1. Plus potatoes, green beans, rolls, and more. Then save even more with M-Perks with $1 off per gallon of gas. Get the same low prices, big deals, and great quality in-store and online at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Imagine this, a day filled with indulgence, bursting with excitement, and packed with extraordinary moments that build memories to last a lifetime. A day that is unmistakably yours, at the place that is undeniably spectacular. Whether you're winning big, dining lavishly, or relaxing oh so comfortably, it's your getaway reimagined at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
Huge here for Van Andel Institute Purple Community. Now, they're a grassroots fundraising network powered by the volunteers who support VAI's mission to improve health now and in the future. Learn more at purplecommunity.org.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Coming up later today at 3 on the Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network, I'll deliver huge opinions on everything you're talking about.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Swings it out to Sadiq Bey. Defending in the corner. To Abdul-Rahman at midcourt. Extra pass. And it goes for the win. The three-pointer by Jordan Poole. Here's the give. Walker. Kenneth Walker. Touchdown. Smarty. Goff's got it. Back. Looks. Throws. Ends up. Yes. Caught. Touchdown. Detroit Lions. They did it. Amon-Ra St. Brown on the receiving end.
Sends one to deep left center field. Back it goes, and that ball's out of here. A grand slam from Miguel Cabrera. He's got 2 goals. Larkin in on goal. Scores! His first career hat trick in his 7th season for Dylan Larkin.
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Welcome back here on a Victory Monday. It's the 18th day of December 2023. So great to have you ride along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio and worldwide on the iHeartRadio app. We say good morning to you. We welcome you. We thank you. We appreciate you. And, of course, we encourage you. From Traverse City down to the Glass City, GR to the Motor City. Text the keyword Sports Radio. Send that to 21,000. Sports Radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 866-838-4843. 866-838-4843. We're on Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros. And, of course, good morning to our television audience as well. On BCSN and streaming live on our YouTube page at Michigan Sports Network. Add a .com to that to find our website. xpmornings@gmail.com is our fan feedback email inbox. And you can follow us all individually on Twitter. Ben Glaze is at @BenGlaze. Ryan Elke is at @RyanL_Key. And I'm Anthony Bellino at AC Bellino. All right, what's going on in the world of sports? We'll try to get you all caught up with all the happenings. We'll do so right now in the headlines.
Big news. I have a little news flash. Let's check the headlines.
No, it's real news for once.
The biggest stories of the local, regional, and national news.
This is huge news.
The Detroit Lions, primetime, Saturday night, statement win over the Denver Broncos, up 21-0 at the break. Ended up winning the game 42-17. Congratulations to Dan Campbell and the boys, improving to 10-4 overall. 5-2 at home. Big time win. Jared Goff, 24 of 34 for 278, 5 touchdowns. More in this game coming up a little bit later on. Speaking of football and Lions, we love them. How about Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, both encroaching on that 1,000 yards on the ground mark? They would be only the 6th, I believe, all-time running back duo to have 1,000 yards each, so pretty impressive stuff there. The Detroit Pistons continue their season of suck. They lose 146-114 to the Milwaukee Bucks over the weekend in a pathetic effort. Still no word. Where's Tom Gores at? Where is he at? Troy Weaver, where is he at? We're waiting. We are waiting. Terrible. The Pistons have now matched the NBA's 3rd longest losing streak in the history of the association. 23 consecutive losses with no end in sight. Now over to the NHL. The Detroit Red Wings fell over the weekend 1-0 to the Philadelphia Flyers. They are back in action tonight at 7 p.m. as they'll drop the puck in LCA against the Anaheim Ducks. That's a game that they should win, so it should give us something fun to watch while we are taking in a little Monday Night Football. It's going to be a dual screen sort of night. So whether you have 2 TVs and a multi-screen setup in your home, maybe you got to get out the computer or the iPad, you can do that as well. We could even go tri-screen if you want. Try this out for size. The Hawks and the Pistons tonight at 7:30 down in Atlanta. Who knows when Detroit got there? Maybe they all went to the strip club beforehand to get those Lou Williams chicken wings everybody's talking about. I don't know. Maybe it'll help them. At this point, green jacket, gold jacket, who gives a bleep? Michigan State returned true to form as they upset number 6 Baylor. This game was in Little Caesars Arena. It was supposed to be a night game on Saturday, got moved to the afternoon because of the Lions game. 88-64. Somebody should have told Baylor that game time got changed because, man, Sparty jumped all over him early and often, and a really big win for Michigan State, maybe a breakout game, as you might look back to this one and say, hey, that was the pivotal moment in which the season changed for the Spartans. Now, Juwan Howard is back from his heart surgery, and he's been back. He was back in the Bahamas, so I don't know exactly like why this is like breaking news. Like, oh, he's back on the sidelines. Like, Michigan beat Eastern Michigan 83-66, whatever. Ward Manuel announced on Friday that Howard would return to his head coaching duties after review of the incident involving several individuals during a team practice. It was an altercation with the strength and conditioning coach, John Sanderson. It was just an argument. No punches thrown. Quote, based on a thorough internal review, nothing was found to warrant disciplinary action for anyone involved. Sanderson has not been on the team's sidelines now for 2 straight games, and his status with the team is unclear. Howard said there's, quote, still a review happening at this moment. I don't know what the review would be, and I'll tell you as honestly as I can. I'm not picking sides here, but based on the story that I've heard that we reported here, that Jace Howard, who is a member of the team, has some sort of stress fracture or something going on, and got into it with one of the trainers, John Sanderson, the head strength coach, overheard this, stepped in. Juwan Howard heard that, came over the top. Sanderson said this is why, allegedly, that this is why the culture here is messed up, and that is what ignited the big party. Now, as honestly as I could tell you, where's the lie? Spot the lie for me. Now, the team is winning, and they got that big win on the road at Iowa, which is great. And you beat Eastern Michigan, so what? But, now this team has to really figure out what it's going to be here moving forward. And I don't know what the next move might be. I don't know if there's going to be a change. I don't know if Juwan Howard even wants to do this anymore. I'm not sure. There's nothing that leads me to believe that he doesn't. I'm just out here. I'm just speaking. But at this point, at the end of the 23-24 season, there really isn't anything that you could tell me that I would be shocked about. I'll put it that way. Penn State is going to hire ex-Indiana head coach Tom Allen to be their new defensive coordinator, so that's good. They hired in conference. Maybe they can learn to stop somebody or at least stop the run. Toledo quarterback DeQuan Finn announced yesterday that he is going to transfer to Baylor with 1 season of eligibility remaining. Led Toledo to the MAC championship this season, threw for over 2,600 yards, 22 touchdowns, 9 picks, ran for 563 and 7 scores during their 11-2 campaign. Pretty good. He was look, it is what it is. I'm not bent out of shape over it. We kind of knew it was coming, so I'm not surprised. He wants to take, it's got 1 year left. Go take a run with the big dog, see if you can win that job there, and then go, move forward, see what happens. Malachi Nelson is entering the transfer portal. The number 1 recruit in the 2023 class told the Trojan staff at USC he's getting into the portal. He was committed to Oklahoma out of high school, decommitted November 28th of 2021 when Riley left the Sooners to take the USC job. Nelson flipped his commitment to the Trojans. Nelson, the number 1 quarterback in the last recruiting cycle and the top recruit in California. National Gatorade Player of the Year. Enrolled early at USC. Sat behind Caleb Williams this past season, and now he's in the portal. What the hell? Speaking of the portal, Kyle McCord, former Ohio State QB1, as the kids like to say. He's transferring to Syracuse. Now, I don't know what took place. I've heard a lot of rumblings that the only reason he got the job, there's a big rumor going out there, the only reason he got the job is because there is some donor money involved, and I don't know what the validity is behind that. All I can tell you is this much. You went and played quarterback at Ohio State. Now, I don't blame him for transferring. They probably should have won that Michigan game. He missed some wide-open throws where he just was not patient enough to throw the football. They were 11-1. And 12-1 over his 3-year career. He finished with 24 touchdown passes, 6 picks, completed 66% of his passes. He's immediately eligible, has 1 year remaining. I don't know what he's doing, but they must have told him they're going to move forward from him, and that's why he's leaving, because transferring to Syracuse from the Ohio State makes no sense whatsoever. Matt Patricia is going to take over the Eagles' defensive play calling, so everybody takes Seattle tonight because that's just going to be a disaster. The Bears' Darnell Mooney dropped the Hail Mary as the Browns completed their comeback. He didn't really drop it. It was all the damn near uncatchable. The ball got batted into his hands, and people are overreacting like he should have caught that. Steph Curry's three-pointer streak ends at 268 games. However, The Warriors did win. He was 0 for 8 from 3, 2 for 12 for the field, overall scored 7 points, and they still won. This streak began December 1st, 2018, against and on the road versus the Detroit Pistons. And how about Keegan Murray? 11 straight threes, 47 points for the former Hawkeye. Good for him. We'll step aside, back with more X's and Bros after this Michigan Sports Network.
It's time to go in the huddle.
1, 2, 3, top flight.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the National Football League. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today and be sure to use the promo code HUGE for a special offer when you sign up. That's code HUGE, H-U-G-E, only at the DraftKings Sportsbook.
The Detroit Lions continued their primetime onslaught by reeling in the reins to the Denver Broncos on Saturday night, aimed downtown in the Motor City with a 42-17 final against the team that came to Detroit winners of 6 of their last 7. Detroit improved to 10-4 on the year with the victory, marking just their first 10-win season since 2014 and only their third since the turn of the 21st century. Double-digit winning seasons have been a rarity for the franchise. This is a special achievement we are witnessing. Since the Lions moved to Detroit back in 1934, this marks just the 10th time in team history Detroit has won 10 or more games in a single season. Jared Goff's 5-touchdown performance made him the first quarterback in franchise history to throw for consecutive seasons of 25-plus passing touchdowns. A very special Saturday indeed for Detroit.
When you shop Meijer, there's no shipping needed. Snow days or shipping delays won't stop us. Get gifts under the tree today when you shop thousands of items ready for pickup in-store today. Plus, get a $15 coupon when you spend $150 or more this week in store. Coupon printed at checkout. Start redeeming next week. Get everything you need for the holidays in one stop at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Coming up later today at 3 on the Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network, I'll deliver huge opinions on everything you're talking about.
Can't call in? Text us using the keyword sports radio and send it to 21000 or tweet us at XB Mornings. Now, back to X's and Bros with Anthony Bellino.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you riding along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening. Text the keyword sports radio, send that to 21,000. Sports radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 866-838-4843. That's 866-838-HUGE. Give us a dial there. Golf season came to a close, but Matt Golden and his team still ready to welcome you to one of the best golfing experiences in the great state of Michigan in 2024. Tullymore Golf Resort Canadian Lakes offers not one but two championship courses. Located about an hour north of Grand Rapids, 30 minutes west of Mount Pleasant, and a great stocking stuffer for the golfer in your life. Send them one of those great golfing experiences. Plus, they've got great accommodations right there on the grounds in the perfect space for your wedding event, reception, or group outing. Visit TullymoreGolf.com, TullymoreGolf.com, or call 1-800-972-4837. That's 1-800-972-4837. Book your stay and play at the beautiful Tullymore Golf Resort today. So great to have you here on a Victory Monday. We love Victory Mondays. Sam and Sag Nasty says the Broncos failed to realize that the real horsepower is in Detroit, not Denver. Let's go, baby. One pride. Hashtag Motor City Machine Guns. Wow. I think Campbell went for the last score because Peyton didn't support him to be the full-time coach for the Dolphins. AB, any word why Sean Payton was chewing Russ? A new one on national TV. That's from James and YouTube. I don't know why that was happening. I honestly couldn't tell you. But it happens. Professional sports, guys are going to get yelled at. You know, Russ seems to be one of those guys that might need a swift kick in the behind. More on this game coming up. But like I said earlier to begin the show, we talked Michigan State. We did some Red Wings. We'll do some Pistons because everything happened. And, 23rd consecutive loss for the Detroit Pistons. The organization and the franchise are an absolute mess. Detroit has joined the 95-96 Vancouver Grizzlies, the 97-98 Nuggets, and the 2011-2012 Charlotte Bobcats in losing 23 consecutive games in the same season. The record for the longest losing streak within a single season is shared by the 2010-2011 Cavs, 2013-2014 76ers, who both lost 26 consecutive games. The 76ers also had a 28-game losing streak that started during the 2014-15 season and carried over to 15 and 16. One night after getting shelled 124-92 on the road in Philly, the Pistons just could not compete. Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo both sat the entire fourth quarter and called an early timeout after the Bucks pulled a 32-17 lead in the first 9 minutes. This is a disaster. This is about as bad as it gets. They're back in action tonight against the Atlanta Hawks. And I don't really know what positives I can pull from this game outside of the fact that Cade Cunningham only had 2 turnovers. Jaden Ivey played 28 minutes off the bench. Scored 32 points. Scored 13 points. You got 11 from Marcus Sasser. Good to see Marcus Sasser's name pop up in the box score. That's cool. Killian Hayes, solid effort. 2 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 14 minutes of work on 1 of 4 shooting from the floor. But let's continue to start him because why not? Asar Thompson back in the starting lineup. That's good. They went with Bagley being their quote-unquote center, Bogey being the 4. Bogdanovich had 24 points on 8 of 15 shooting. Just a professional scorer. That's what he does. Asar and Cade, they have decent games. Asar was 3 of 6 from the field, 7 points, 6 rebounds, and assists. That was cool. Cade had 25 points, 1 rebound, 6 assists, a steal, only 2 turnovers. Was 10 of 17 from the floor. That's cool. Good for them. Killian Hayes, once again, shouldn't be in the starting lineup. He can come off the bench with Isaiah Stewart. Beef Stew with his sprained left shoulder, unavailable. Jalen Duren with his ankle, unavailable. And 26 games into the season, This one is a complete mess and disaster. You already knew that. They might as well eliminate them from playoff contention right now. They can cancel the rest of the season for all I care. It's just, will it stop tonight? I don't know. It has to. It has to stop tonight. And if they could have their full complement, full roster of players, that would be great. I would really appreciate that. I don't know why we are, even tinkering around with any other idea outside of Asar, Caden, Ivy with Bogey and Duran, unless Duran is injured, which he is currently. Marcus Sasser should be early off the bench because he can score. Nobody else seems to be able to, especially not Killian Hayes. So why do we keep playing him? I don't know. At least he played under 20 minutes. That's cool. On the road tonight against Atlanta, Thursday against Utah, Saturday against Brooklyn. 3 games this week for the Pistons. 7:30, 7 o'clock, and 7:30 are the tip-off times. 2 out of the 3 on the road. If you don't win tonight against Atlanta, I don't necessarily know, if you can beat Utah at home. 2 against Brooklyn, that's a disaster. Boston and Toronto. It's win now tonight against Atlanta, or you're going to go back-to-back consecutive months without a win. Consecutive months without a victory. That is so god-awful that I just kind of at a loss for words on how heartbreaking this has been. It's not going to get any easier either. I mean, it's the NBA. I look at, where we were at in the first 3 games of the season, 2-1, feeling fat and sassy going into Oklahoma City, and how quickly this has just turned into a train wreck. An absolute train wreck. So the win tonight against Atlanta, or go no-win November, followed up by defeated December, and we could just call it a day. And at that point, I'm sure tickets will be very, very inexpensive. So if you want to go just for the fact that you want to see what it may look like inside Little Caesars, that's cool. But outside of that, you really have I have no pressure for you to go watch this team. If you want to tune into it, great. If you don't want to tune into it, that's totally fine too. I don't blame you. And is what it is. Is what it is. So that's where I'm at with the Detroit Pistons. They are, I'm not a big sell the team guy, but I do find the parallel of, Bill Davidson, blue collar, although that, he was, it's tough to call a, multimillionaire, billionaire, a blue collar, but understood, was from Michigan, got it, had a great business here. Blue collar going to work Pistons. They're bought out by, some private equity guy that is running this thing into the ground, and he's, more concerned about, real estate development and everything else. It's a debacle. And even if Tom Gores were to sell the team, I don't really know what that does to pick this team up. The general manager, Troy Weaver, has to be gone at the end of the year, but that's a long ways away. That's a long ways away. I mean, you look at an 82-game season, we've played 26. Simple math tells you there's 56 games remaining. Like, there's a lot of time for death, doom, and despair here. And that's where we're at. So I would expect this to be the end of Troy Weaver. I don't necessarily hate the picks overall. I don't know what to do about Monty Williams. I'm sorry. But there's nothing you can do to save this season. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if people really, all these people firing up the trade machine, you're not making the playoffs. It's over. Like, they would have to go on such an ungodly, insane winning streak that it would shock the entire world. And that's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They don't know how to win. And it's coaching, it's management, clean house, and start over. Back with more Lions football victory Monday next. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
Huge here for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. You can stay up to date on the latest from Lansing 24/7 at MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. The latest news, press releases, and stories connected to every high school in the state of Michigan, available for you 24/7 from the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Log on to MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. And if you're looking for archive boys and girls high school sports, MHSAA.TV. That's MHSAA.TV. 24/7, everything you need to know about high school sports in Michigan. Log on to MHSAA.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Roast Umber is a farm-direct coffee sourced from Central American farmers and roasted in Grand Rapids. And also the Nitro Cold Brew Coffee is a convenient and healthy option for energy with no sugar additives. Look for it at your local retailer or at roastumber.com. Coming up later today at 3 on The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network, I'll deliver huge opinions on everything you're talking about.
Miss any of today's show? Find our podcast and listen on demand on Google, Apple, Spotify, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Now, back to X's and Bros with Anthony Bellino, here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. You know, in the NBA, the game can change in an instant, but no matter how the action unfolds, you know DraftKings Sportsbook has your back. This week, new customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets. For betting just $5 on basketball. Win or lose, you get an instant dub. Best of all, it's safe, secure, and it's reliable with 24/7 support. You can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever, wherever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code HUGE, promo code HUGE. New customers get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, only using the promo code HUGE. The crown is yours. Now, if you or somebody knows a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline, 800-270-7117. 21 plus, physically present in Michigan. Eligibility and deposit restrictions do apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Welcome back here, X's and Bros. Pistons are playing like an expansion team. It's pitiful, and really there's no fixing it either anytime soon. Seems like they might not win another game this season. That's what it does seem like. I don't know. I don't know why. I felt like Monty Williams was going to be a good head coach for this club. You know, he's relatable. Guy's been through a lot in his life, and maybe this should be a really good opportunity for this team to get their act together and, finally make that big step with the core four intact. And it's just been an absolute disaster. But we've got better, more important things to talk about, like the Lions, right? We did our segment on the Pistons. We did college basketball. We did our due diligence on the Red Wings. Back to the Lions, right? Thank God for the Detroit Lions. I mean, who would have thought? Now, in case you missed it, in hour number one, we already went through, our drive chart and how the Lions got to their 42-17 victory. And then in hour number two, our focal point was on the defense. And now gearing up towards the offense, Freddie sent this message in that I want to get to here as well. While watching the game, I was thinking, would Swift and Hawk have had the same seasons this year instead of Gibbs and Laporta? Or did Holmes see it was time for them to go because all they knew was losing, and their body language showed it? To me, Holmes' best quality, bring in competition at every position with hungry guys. You know what? It's interesting. I mean, DeAndre Swift has had a good season with the Philadelphia Eagles. TJ Hockenson has had a good season with the Minnesota Vikings. But I think that the total upside for Jahmyr Gibbs, I didn't need to see DeAndre Swift ducking, running out of bounds anymore. We don't get that with Jahmyr Gibbs. We get angry runs, him not afraid to establish the point of contact, where I don't think we saw that with DeAndre Swift. Sam Laporta, the rookie phenom, just continues to set records and climb the books as far as, what we expect or what we've ever seen out of a rookie tight end. He has been simply sensational. And this offense as a whole, after a tough start, I mean, they punted on their first three possessions. And then all of a sudden, it was like, the light switch came on, and then they scored touchdowns in 6 of their last 7. Now, Sam Laporta, with 9 receiving touchdowns this season, sets a new single-season franchise record among tight ends and all rookies for the most touchdowns by a rook with the Detroit Lions. Only quarterbacks to tally 3 games with 4+ touchdowns for the Lions: Bobby Lane, Matthew Stafford, and Jared Goff. Jared Goff also became the first player in Detroit Lions franchise history with consecutive seasons of 25+ passing touchdowns. That was kind of strange. Now, even though they did lose Jerry Jacobs with a hamstring issue in that ball game, we'll have to see, how that progresses throughout the course of this week. Jahmyr Gibbs is the first rookie running back for Detroit to have 90 scrimmage yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and 1 receiving touchdown in a single game since Javid Best did it back in 2010. The only rookie tight end in NFL history to have at least 70 catches, 700 yards, and 8 touchdowns in a season, Sam Laporta. He also became the 8th rookie tight end in NFL history to have 2 multi-touchdown games in a season. He's the first to do so since Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez both did it in 2010. We know how that worked out. Like, it is incredible what these guys have been able to do. Montgomery and Gibbs have each topped 750 rushing yards this season. It's the first time in franchise history two players have done it in a single season. They've never had that before. You know, a lot of people were really concerned when we moved off of Jamal Williams. And then when we moved off of Jamal Williams because we signed David Montgomery, it only made sense. Montgomery is a great running back in Chicago. He just didn't have the offensive line to be able to do it. Now he's got the offensive line, and you could see it. Right now, Sam Laporta has 9 receiving touchdowns. That trails Rob Gronkowski by 1 and Mike Ditka by 3 for the most receiving touchdowns by a rookie in NFL history. Like, it is incredible. Jared Goff, among all NFL quarterbacks since 2017, Jared Goff is first in passing yards, first in passing touchdowns, first in 20-yard plus completions, and didn't do any of those in his first season with the Lions. He's second in completions and 6th in passing touchdowns. Like, it has been a record-setting season for the 10-4 Detroit Lions. And I cannot overstate this enough. The Detroit Lions have won 10 games for just the 10th time in their 90-year history, folks. 90 years of football. They've only hit double-digit wins 10 times.
Bing bong.
Think about that. If they hit 11 wins, they win this weekend, it would be 11 wins, the 4th time in franchise history that's ever happened. Like, this is a historical run that I just don't know if people quite understand what is being done here. The Detroit Lions became the Detroit Lions in 1934 after they moved from Portsmouth. They were the Portsmouth Spartans before that. 90 years of football. We've won 10 games or more 10 times. That's how rare this is, folks. Like, it just doesn't happen. Between 1996 and 2010, didn't sniff 10 wins. It's incredible. And now for the 3rd time, just the 3rd time since the turn of the 21st century, have they reached double-digit wins. If they win this weekend, they hit 11 wins, which is the 2nd most in franchise history, a mark that was hit in 2014. 12 wins back in 1991 is the franchise's all-time record for most wins in a season. Now, obviously, with the extra games, things take a turn here. Since the 2021 season, we expanded to 17 regular season games. Things are a little bit different, but it's still an incredible achievement for this club. It still is. And offensively, I think what we saw after the slow start was this team rallying and rebounding and really, I mean, you think about dependable. Jared Goff, 24 of 34, 278, 5 touchdowns, was sacked twice, had a QBR of 76.1 and a rating of 134.6. His 2 favorite targets, Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta, were half of his completions. Amon-Ra, the sun god, 7 catches for 112 yards and a touchdown. Sam Laporta, 5 catches, 56 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, 2 catches, 8 yards, and that other score. Like, that's simply incredible. Jahmyr Gibbs, multi-touchdown game, 11 carries on the ground, 100 yards. Had a long of 34. So you know what I do? Take the total amount of carries and then subtract 1 for the longest run to maybe find out what a better average might be. Right? And you take that away, and he's got 10 for 66. So he's still averaging 6.6 yards per carry. That's incredible. That's an offensive line, with Frank Ragnow allegedly, I don't know where I saw this at, but like allegedly like a torn meniscus or something he's playing through. Who knows? Like, it's incredible what this offensive line is able to do. And we know the recipe. If they can keep Jared clean, they can win games. Now, looking ahead to the Minnesota Vikings and to the Dallas Cowboys, I thought that there were a couple very specific plays where the running backs did a great job in pass protection, picking up the extra rusher. That's going to be necessary. You might have to add an extra offensive lineman in. Dan Skipper came in a few times as eligible. You might have to get, a little bit more out of the multi-tight end set to kind of change some things up there and be able to add a little bit. But offensively, this team put on an absolute showcase, especially with the way they started. Because I was nervous. I'm not going to lie. I was nervous. I think Ford Field was nervous. You punt on your first possession, but you get the fumble, and then you can't do anything with it. And you're 4th and 12 at the Denver 39, and you got to punt again. Then you get the football back, and you got to punt again. I mean, hell, people. First quarter, with a minute and a half to play, it was 1st and 10 at the Detroit 20-yard line when the Lions would take over before anybody scored. And that was an 8-play, 80-yard drive that took 4:07. I mean, we didn't score until the second quarter. But that's what you need to see from this offense. You need to see them a tale as old as time. You win in the run game, you win in the turnover battle, you win the football game. That's exactly what they did. Denver did complete some third downs that were a little sketchy, but the Lions were, 5 of 10 on third down, 50%. That's a good number. 29 first downs in the game. That's a good number. Only 2 penalties, one of which was a PI, so 2 penalties for 54 yards. They had the time of possession in their favor. They were 6 for 6 in the red zone, averaging 6.5 yards a carry on 185 yards on the ground. The balance there. 28 rushing attempts, 34 passing attempts. If any time you only touch the football 10 times, they had 10 drives, that's it. 10 drives, you scored 6 touchdowns. You punted 4 times. You ran 64 plays. That's a pretty evenly matched ball game in terms of total drives, total plays ran. Denver ran 62 plays. Didn't score a point in the first half. A great defensive effort and a great bounce back game overall. I thought that Jamison Williams had a nice game. J-Mo had 4 catches for 47 yards, but was targeted 7 times. That's crucial. Josh Reynolds, 2 catches for 41 yards on 3 targets. Khalif Raymond only targeted 1 time, but it was a big 12-yard gain. Donovan Peoples-Jones had a catch for 5 yards. Now, I'm not going to hype that up like that's anything special. But at the end of the day, you look at it and it's okay, well, you have a situation here now where this team has balanced play calling. They're getting a little bit more out of J-Mo. I think they're still very much dependent. I'm okay with them being very much dependent on Amon-Ra and Sam Laporta because at least there's 2 guys there that they can be that have proved themselves to be reliable. Those 2 guys. And it's not a shot at anybody else, but we know that those are 2 of Jared Goff's. Those are his 2 favorite targets, and they continue to produce, so why not continue to go for him? And he's thrown some footballs this year, folks, that probably shouldn't have been caught. But, Amon-Ra and Sam Laporta have done a great job of bringing those in. That trust factor is there. And then you look for guys in their particular spots like J-Mo, Khalif, like Josh Reynolds, guys that can help you out that might be left open because there's all that attention being paid on the 2 most dependable, reliable targets. The Lions really impressed me Saturday. I love the running back room. I think they are going to be huge going down the stretch and into the playoffs. I thought preseason they improved at that position. You were okay. It was okay to question why you take a running back at 12, but now you know why, right? You didn't know, and that's okay. I don't expect us to know. We're too worried about the teams that we are talking about right now. We have no idea. It's very tough to come up with a legitimate grade unless that's what you do for a living. Is evaluate talent. For you to not question Brad Holmes taking a running back at 12. Taking a linebacker with the very next pick in Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell had 5 tackles in the ball game, one of which was a solo. It's very difficult to see, like, okay, Sam Laporta, you took him over the kid out of Notre Dame. Okay. You move up, take Brian Branch. Like, all 4 of those guys are producing. You look at the draft classes, they're all producing. Great to see Josh Paschal out there. How about Josh Paschal? 2 tackles for loss, 3 tackles, a sack, and an extra quarterback hit on top of it. And then Ifeatu Melifonwu, a guy that they selected, hasn't seen a lot of time. I wanted to see him last week if they were going to keep Tracy Walker and Kirby Joseph as your safety tandem. Let's put Melly in there because of his size and his speed, and let him spy the quarterback. That's what I wanted. They said, no, Anthony, we're not going to listen to you there. We're going to put him in the back end, put him at safety, and start him and play him. This week, more of same, but they send him a little bit, right? And he can prove to you that he can do that. So let's watch the evolution in what this might look like if Melifonwu comes out of that safety spot and plays a little bit more as that star or viper defender, or it's not a nickelback because, most teams are in a pro-style 11 personnel offense with 3 receivers, a tight end, and a running back anyway, so your nickel's always going to be out there. But will he be put in a position with his size that he might be undersized for a linebacker, a little oversized in the secondary, but can play a versatile role on this defense? This is what we got. How can we use him? And then you send him in on the blitz, does a great job of not over-pursuing, breaking down on Russell Wilson, sacking him, getting the ball out. It's just incredible. Just incredible. And a statement game as we were looking forward to it going into last Saturday here on Friday's show. This was a statement game for the franchise. They needed this one bad. Not just for this individual particular season. Because let me tell you, 10-4 sounds a whole lot better than 9-5. They didn't just need this one for the last month of football that they've been 2-2 with disappointing losses against the Packers and the Bears. They needed this one for you, the fan. And they needed this one for the franchise itself. Because there's been too many times in pivotal moments like this throughout the course of the franchise's history that they didn't get the job done. And Saturday, they went in there against one of the hottest teams in the league with wins over Cleveland, Buffalo, Kansas City, and stomped them. Cue the fight song.
Let's go, Lions fans! Get a bunch of seats! Get a bunch of seats! Forward on the field, a charging team that will not yield. And with the blue and silver wave, everybody stand into the brave. Rah, rah, rah! Go hard with the game. With honor, you will keep your faith. Down the field and gain a Lions victory.
Go Lions! That's all for us here on a Victory Monday. We'll talk to you tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Huge here for Urban U. They are Michigan's favorite med spa locations throughout West Michigan and also on the east side of the state in Northville. And this is for any guy listening right now or lady. If you want the perfect holiday gift for somebody you care about, you need to think about the holiday specials happening at theurbanu.com. That's theurbanu.com. And for the holidays, Urban U is offering holiday tiers. Until December 30th through the end of the year, purchasing a holiday tier is the perfect way to treat yourself or that person in your life that you care about or your family. And you get your holiday gift shopping done quick at theurbanu.com. And what are holiday tiers? Holiday tiers are the best way to get rewarded big time for investing in your health, wellness, and beauty services. Simple and easy. If you want to take care of everything for the holidays, go to theurbanu.com.
Hi, I'm Casey. I don't just work at Meijer, I shop there. Get a $15 coupon like I did when you spend $150 or more this week in store. Print it at checkout, start redeeming next week. And get Meijer's Spiral Sliced Ham for 89 cents per pound with M-Perks. Discount automatically applied when you enter your M-Perks ID Limit 1. Plus potatoes, green beans, rolls, and more. Then save even more with M-Perks with $1 off per gallon of gas. Get the same low prices, big deals, and great quality in-store and online at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Imagine this, a day filled with indulgence, bursting with excitement, and packed with extraordinary moments that build memories to last a lifetime. A day that is unmistakably yours, at the place that is undeniably spectacular. Whether you're winning big, dining lavishly, or relaxing oh so comfortably, it's your getaway reimagined at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
Huge here for Van Andel Institute Purple Community. Now, they're a grassroots fundraising network powered by the volunteers who support VAI's mission to improve health now and in the future. Learn more at purplecommunity.org.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Huge here. AB's doing a heck of a job, and I'm ready to drop some huge opinions about what he's talking about later today at 3 on the Michigan Sports